My name is Adeline Hayes, 32 years old. My sister's wedding still haunts our business community. Imagine this, 200 guests in a glittering ballroom. My mother's slap stung my face, sending my diamond earrings skittering across the marble floor. Why? I wouldn't hand over my $2 million penthouse during the reception speeches. Nobody saw this coming. An hour later, the CEO of a top investment firm strode in, and my mother's scream echoed 3 floors up. He wasn't just any CEO. He owned 40% of my father's company. He'd seen the drama unfold on a live stream and had plenty to say about it. Before I dive deeper, hit like and subscribe if you love stories about standing strong. Where are you watching from? Share your location and time in the comments below. That morning, I thought I was just there for Sophia's dream wedding. I arrived at the Grand View Hotel at 8 a.m., 3 hours early. The ballroom sparkled with white roses and gold, just as Sophia always wanted. I'd quietly paid $50,000 to make it perfect, but no one mentioned that. Adeline, you're here, my mother said, eyeing me. That dress, couldn't you pick something softer? This isn't a boardroom, it's your sister's wedding. I brushed my navy silk dress, classy, sharp, maybe office ready. Good morning, Mom, I said lightly. Sophia's glowing in her gown, she went on, ignoring me. A real bride. She's radiant. This wasn't new. For 32 years, I've been the too ambitious daughter, too independent, too tough. Sophia? She's their princess, sweet, traditional, their ideal. Adeline, check the seating chart, Dad called. But don't rearrange it all like usual. I held back a sigh. Chart was a mess, exes seated together, rivals side by side. But pointing that out? I'd just be the difficult one again. They didn't know my secret. I'm not some mid-level worker. I'm Vice President of Development at Hayes Capital, running our Asia-Pacific expansion. In my family, though, that's just another flaw. Too driven, too independent, too much like a son they never had. Sure, Dad, I said calmly. I'll make it perfect for Sophia. Family first, Adeline, Dad said, hovering as I fixed a centerpiece. You'll get it when you have your own family, if you ever settle down. The dig stung. 32, being single was apparently worse than any career win. Richard, ease up, Aunt Patricia said, chuckling. Not everyone finds love young like Sophia. I focused on the centerpiece, ignoring their whispers. No ring on Adeline yet. All that time in the city, no man? Poor Carol, but at least Sophia's giving her grandkids. My cousin Derek grinned across the room. Adeline, swap boardrooms for date nights, and maybe you'd have a plus one. Their laughter hit hard. I could have told them about the 3 guys this year who couldn't handle my success, or that I chose to be single. But why bother? She's so picky, Mom said to the crowd. Always has been. I studied another centerpiece, their words stinging. They didn't know me, and maybe that was okay. Adeline, Aunt Sally chirped, mingling pre-ceremony. How's your tiny city apartment? Cozy, right? It's a penthouse, I said softly. They roared with laughter. Sally wiped her eyes. A penthouse? Oh, Adeline, such big dreams. She exaggerates, Sophia added, gliding up in her gown. Last year, she claimed she got a Tesla. Imagine that. I did buy a Tesla. It was parked outside. I just smiled. Adeline's too ambitious, Mom said, making it sound like a curse. Nothing wrong with a small place, Uncle Tom said smugly. Not everyone gets luxury, kiddo. No shame. My phone pinged, a concierge note about a delivery to my 4,500 square foot penthouse, 45th floor, floor-to-ceiling windows, paid in cash from my Singapore deal. Could have shown them photos, the virtual tour, the architectural digest feature. But why? To beg for their approval? You're right, Uncle Tom, I said. Living within your means is fine. Sophia's laugh tinkled. Adeline's finally getting realistic. The irony burned. By the window, I stared at the skyline, my penthouse looming high above. 10 years, 80-hour weeks, late flights, deals in the Financial Times got me from analyst to VP. That penthouse? It's proof I made it. Proof I didn't need their praise, money, or connections. Every inch was mine earned. Giving it to Sophia like a party favor? That'd make me their backup plan, their ATM for their golden child. I remembered nights asleep at my desk, crafting multi-million-dollar proposals. Promotions earned while they planned Sophia's parties. Respect won in boardrooms across 3 continents. Here I was just Adeline, too tough, too driven, too different. Giving up my penthouse would mean agreeing I belonged in their shadow. My phone lit up with my assistant's photo, my penthouse view, sunrise flooding through huge windows. Caption: Your sanctuary awaits, boss. Sanctuary. That's it. It's my place where I'm not the failed daughter or the lesser sister. Just Adeline Hayes, who built something incredible. I wouldn't let that go, not for family peace. Our Sophia, Mom's voice rang out, boasting to guests. She's perfect, graceful, caring, volunteers at the Children's Hospital. She'll be an amazing wife. The guests cooed on cue. Mom beamed with pride, rattling off Sophia's wins. Her teaching degree, her flawless engagement, her charity gigs. My name? Never came up. 3 months back, I'd wired $50,000 when Dad griped about wedding costs. I'd pulled strings for a spot in the city's top bridal mag. Even upgraded their honeymoon suite with my points. Invisible, that's me. The family shadow, popping up only for handouts. Nice family, a guest said. So proud of your daughter. Oh yes, Dad said, arm around Mom. Sophia's our joy. Daughter, one word like I didn't exist. I turned away but caught their whisper. Dad's voice dropped low. After the toast, he told Mom, we announced the penthouse. Adeline will go along? Mom murmured. No choice, Dad said. Not with everyone watching. She's too proud for a scene at Sophia's big day. Ice hit my veins. This was no kind gift. It was a trap, using crowd shame and duty to box me in. Anyway, Mom said, why's she need a penthouse? And no family to share it with. Her words hit like a gut punch, but they sharpened my resolve. I wouldn't bite. Felt like a ghost in your own family? Achievements ignored unless they suit someone else's story? Type I see you below. I see you, your wins count, seen or not. Next up, the blow-up that flipped everything, turning quiet family mess into total public shame. Subscribe and ring that bell for more on drawing lines and picking self-worth over approval. Where are you tuning in from? I dig chatting with folks who get it. The toughest fights hit closest to home. Reception buzzed when Dad rose, clinking his glass. Band hushed. 200 faces locked on him. Before more cheers, he boomed into the mic. Carol and I have a gift for Sophia and Brian. My gut Dank. Here we go. Family's our world, Dad went on, beaming. We'd do anything for our kids' joy. Kids, plural. But his gaze stuck on Sophia. So we're excited to share. Adeline's kindly giving Sophia her downtown penthouse as a wedding present. Cheers exploded. Sophia clutched her chest in fake shock, but her sly smile screamed she knew. Brian hugged her, all grins. Adeline, oh wow, she gasped into her mic, the penthouse? For real. All eyes drilled into me. I froze, glass in hand, brain spinning. They'd scripted it tight. The reveal, her act, the spotlight making no my villain move. Adeline, join us, Dad waved. Family pick for this sweet moment. Claps rolled on. Smiles, nods, even teary eyes over the kind gift. I spotted my boss's wife at table 12, key clients at 8, my whole work circle there, waiting for my happy sister nod. Not just a trap. This killed my freedom cold. I set my glass down, rose slow. Silence dropped. Sorry, what? My words cut clear, no mic needed. Dad's grin slipped. The penthouse, dear. Dear. For Sophia and Brian. We never talked this, I said, cool and pro. Murmurs rippled. Dad flushed red. Don't hog it on her day, he barked through the mic for all to hear. Dad, wrong spot. Let's talk alone. No talk needed. Mom snatched the mic family gift. It's mine, I said flat. No deal yet. Whispers swelled. Snippets hit. Her? Today. So greedy. Sophia teared up on cue. Adeline, I figured you want me happy. Your happy doesn't need my place, Sophia. Just stuff, Dad thundered. Get another. You get her one, I shot back. Gasps boomed. Table three's guest pearl clutched. Photographer flashed nonstop. Adeline, hey, Brian tried peacekeeper mode. We'd cherish it. Sure, but it's off limits. Mom went purple. Dad looked stroke-bound. Sophia's sweet face cracked, ugly peeking out. Come on, Adeline, Aunt Sally yelled. Family. No kin to fill it, Uncle Tom piled on. Sophia needs it. She's wed, building life, another voice. Why hoard space? Heat closed in, each jab a brick in their trap wall. Think straight, Cousin Derek hollered. Quit the drama. Buy new digs easy, Aunt Patricia sniped. Fancy job and all. Her bite dripped out. They still saw me as fake success, Penthouse a tall tale. Nice guess, I said even, storm raging in. But cash talk stays private. All cash with you, Mom hissed my cot. Sis's joy beats bricks. If her joy steals mine, let's unpack that. More gasps. Back row boo. Flashes strobed chaos. I held firm, no shakes, no wet eyes. I'd faced devouring CEOs, held lines on million-dollar tables. No break now, not before lifelong belittlers. Penthouse stays mine, I said sharp done. Phone buzzed wild in my bag. I fished it out, dodging glares. 3 missed from MC, text spiking my heart. Caught the stream. Ready. Stream. Fan showed Brian's kid bro's phone on table 6, piping the mess live to Facebook. Red light mocked. Who all saw my folks strong arm my home? MC ping, go time? Your word. Marcus Chen, guide, chief, and oh yeah, Dad's 40% silent owner. Dad clueless, his quiet backer ran my shop. We'd siloed it for messes like this. Adeline, phone off, Mom snapped. Family hour. Looks like showtime too, I nodded at the setup. Your in-laws, kin, airing it online. Bro yanked the phone too late. How many eyed the course fest already? Hold for my cue, I texted Marcus, pocketing it. Such drama, Sophia Mike sighed, victim gold. All over bricks. Thought my sis cared enough to launch my life suite. Crowd lapped it. Poor Sophia, iced by icy sis. But Dad eyed his phone, paling fast. Dream bites were biting back. Wedding's viral now, I murmured to Sophia. Congrats. Judgment crushed in, but 6 months back flashed. Marcus adding odd clause to my penthouse buy. Trust, he said, scanning docs. Shield from outsiders, like family push. I chuckled. Tough kin, not threats. But empire builder Marcus knew. Force cell under heat, he'd said. Claws kicks. Firm grabs first dibs, guards asset and you. Penthouse started corporate, shifted to me in pay perks. Trail spotless, title solid, but 15.3? Gave Hayes capital pull to block forced hands. Not mere deeds. Safeguard for pros from this exact squeeze. Marcus knew too many power women bled dry by grabby kin. Adeline's bullheaded, Dad told the room damage control. But kin first. She gets it. Kin don't blindside, I said soft. Voice boomed anyway. Quiet slammed back. Waitstaff froze, trays midair, glued to the wreck. Mind raced to Marcus's safe docks. Not just my deed, but Hayes Capital's full money map. Gold for Dad if he learned his girl was his backer's top gun. Bless that clause he pushed. Mom stormed from the head table, her beaded gown flashing as she charged across the dance floor. She gripped the microphone, knuckles white. Adeline Hayes, her voice thundered through the speakers, you won't ruin this day. You won't shame our family. I'm not making the scene, Mom, I said calmly. We raised you better. She was close now, a vein pulsing in her temple. We gave you everything. You gave Sophia everything, I corrected. I built my own. You ungrateful, she stopped, aware of the crowd. Then, with fake sweetness, honey, just give Sophia the keys. It's nothing big. No. That word hung heavy. Mom's face flashed disbelief, fury, shame. The ballroom froze, breathless. You'll do it, she hissed, dropping the mic briefly. Or else? Or what? I asked, curious what threat she'd try. She raised the mic. Everyone, my daughter's forgotten family. Remind her what it means. Some cheered for Sophia, but others hushed, sensing a line crossed. Give her the keys, Mom whispered, Mike catching the menace. Now. No, you selfish girl, she erupted. After all we've done, all we've sacrificed, you can't do this? You're a disgrace. Her perfume, that choking floral from childhood, hit me. Her eyes burned with years of resentment. Her slap struck fast. My cheek burned, head snapped aside. Crack echoed, Mike amplifying it. My diamond earring, my Singapore deal gift, sailed off, arcing slow before pinging the marble floor. 200 guests gasped. Then silence, deafening, heart-pounding silence. I stood still, cheek stinging, heat spreading. The photographer froze. Waitstaff stopped. Kids at table 15 went quiet. Mom's hand hung midair, stunned by her own act. Her ragged breaths hissed through the mic. Mirrored walls showed it all. My red cheek, Mom's shocked face, Dad half up, Sophia's hands at her mouth, maybe truly stunned. Brian's brother filmed again. My earring glittered on the marble, 10 feet away. So small, yet it felt like everything. I didn't move or speak, didn't touch my cheek. I let the silence scream for me. Slowly, I walked to my earring, heels clicking loud in the quiet hall. I knelt, picked it up, and fixed it back on. 30 seconds felt like 30 years. I stood, smoothed my dress, and faced Mom. She clutched the mic, defiance mixing with horror. Excuse me, I said, voice steady. To the head table. Congrats, Sophia. May your marriage shine. I grabbed my clutch and walked out, steady as leaving a boardroom, no rush. Adeline, wait, Dad called. I kept going. Behind, chaos erupted, voices, chairs, sobs, but I walked on. Past the doors, I dialed Marcus. He picked up first ring. Adeline, green light, he asked. Yes. 45 minutes to get home. You okay? I touched my stinging cheek. Start the contingency. Marcus was rallying the legal team. I mean, are you hurt? It'll heal, I said, stepping into the elevator. Bring the shareholder agreement, Dad's unread one. Gladly. Call ended as the doors shut, sealing off their mess. That slap, heard by 200, did it spark your rage? I know the pain of betrayal by protectors. But anger isn't the play, strategy is. Next, you'll see why you don't corner someone you've pushed too far. Like and comment boundaries if you've set family lines. Hit subscribe for more. The shift's coming, where the unseen daughter holds all the aces. 45 minutes later in my penthouse, ice on my cheek, Marcus texted, I'm entering now. I swapped my dress for jeans and a sweater. No armor needed. I'd already won, they just didn't know. My phone buzzed wild. Brian's brother's stream? Shared 500 times. The slap was a gif. I didn't care about viral. I cared about the ballroom now. Marcus texted, walking in. Richard saw me. I pictured it. Marcus Chen, $10,000 Armani, striding in, cool confidence, lawyers at his sides with briefcases. Forbes famous Marcus, dad's 6-month meeting chase. Another text, his face paled. Your mom's screaming. As I stood before the expansive floor-to-ceiling windows of my penthouse, the city lights twinkled like a sea of distant stars below me. The skyline of downtown stretched out endlessly, a testament to the hustle and ambition that had built this metropolis, and, in a smaller way, my own life. 32 floors up, the world felt both immense and conquerable. But down there, in the glittering ballroom of the Grand Hyatt, my family was finally tasting the bitter fruit of their own actions. The air in my living room was cool and still, scented faintly with the lavender diffuser I'd turned on to calm my nerves. My cheeks still throbbed from the slap, a red welt blooming like an unwelcome reminder of the evening's chaos. Yet, for the first time in years, a quiet satisfaction settled over me. This wasn't revenge, it was justice, long overdue. The phone rang, shattering the silence. An unknown number flashed on the screen. I hesitated, my thumb hovering, but curiosity won. I answered, pressing the device to my ear. Adeline. The voice was a hushed whisper, laced with urgency. It was Brian's brother, Ethan, Sophia's soon-to-be brother-in-law, a guy I'd met only a handful of times at awkward family gatherings. He sounded like he was hiding in a corner, away from the crowd. Listen, things are falling apart down here. Your dad's crumbling like a house of cards. There's this Chinese guy in a sharp suit, tall, intimidating, who just showed up unannounced. He mentioned your name and something about partnership agreements. Your mom lost it, screaming at the top of her lungs. Who the hell is this guy? I leaned against the glass, the cool surface grounding me. The city pulsed below, oblivious to the drama unfolding in one of its luxury venues. He's someone guarding his stakes, I replied evenly, my voice steadier than I felt. Marcus Chen wasn't just my boss. He was the CEO of Hayes Capital, a powerhouse in global finance, and a man who didn't suffer fools lightly. I'd called him in a moment of desperation, and true to form, he'd arrived like a storm. Ethan's breath hitched. He's repeating Mr. Chen over and over like it's supposed to mean something huge. Wait, is this the Chen? The one who runs that massive investment firm? The guy who's been in Forbes for... Gotta go, I interrupted, hanging up before he could dig deeper. I didn't know explanations to anyone, least of all a peripheral family member caught in the crossfire. The city glowed on, serene and indifferent, its neon veins carrying on with the rhythm of nightlife. But in that ballroom, an empire, my father's carefully constructed facade, was shaking at its foundations. My phone buzzed again almost immediately. This time it was Marcus himself. I answered, and his voice filled the line, calm but authoritative. Adeline, you're on speaker now. We're here with your parents and a few select guests. The silence that followed was electric, humming through the connection like a live wire. I could picture the scene, the opulent ballroom with its crystal chandeliers casting fractured light over silk-draped tables, the remnants of Sophia's lavish wedding reception scattered like forgotten confetti. My parents, Richard and Carol Hayes, sat rigidly, flanked by Marcus and perhaps a few stunned onlookers. The air would be thick with tension, the faint scent of wilting floral centerpieces mingling with the sharp tang of spilled champagne. Richard, Marcus boomed, his CEO voice cutting through like a blade, polished, precise, and unyielding. Let's set the record straight. Adeline isn't some entry-level drone scraping by. She's our vice president of development, spearheading our entire Asia-Pacific expansion. She's the architect behind our most lucrative ventures. Gasps rippled through the speaker, a chorus of disbelief from the assembled crowd. I could hear the rustle of fabrics as people shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Impossible, my father mumbled, his voice shaky and thin, stripped of its usual bluster. Richard Hayes had always prided himself on being the family patriarch, the self-made man who'd built Hayes and Associates from a garage startup into a mid-tier consulting firm. But now, faced with the truth, he sounded like a deflated balloon. Marcus didn't miss a beat. The Singapore deal worth $40 million? Adeline led the negotiations, closing it in record time despite regulatory hurdles that would have stalled anyone else. Our Tokyo office, now our top profit generator in the region? She built it from the ground up, assembling a team of elite talent and forging alliances with local powerhouses. And that Samsung partnership your firm has been chasing for years? She sealed it 6 months ago, bringing in revenue streams that dwarf anything you've touched. Liar! My mother's shriek pierced the line, raw and desperate. Carol Hayes, ever the socialite queen, couldn't fathom a world where her lesser daughter outshone her golden child. Her voice cracked with hysteria, as if the very idea threatened her carefully curated reality. Mrs. Hayes, Marcus continued coolly, undeterred, your daughter is one of our top executives. That penthouse you're so fixated on? It's part of her compensation package, fully vested with ironclad protections against exactly this kind of familial coercion. What protections? My father asked, his tone edging toward panic. I could imagine him loosening his tie, sweat beading on his forehead under the ballroom's warm lights. The kind that activate when attempts are made to force her to relinquish her assets, Marcus explained. And let's not forget the live stream, over 20,000 views in just 1 hour. Captures everything, the demands, the assault, the coercion. Crystal clear for any court or boardroom. 20,000 views. The number hit me like a wave. What had started as a desperate act of self-preservation, hitting live on my phone during the confrontation, had snowballed into a viral spectacle. Down in the ballroom, the weight of those digital eyes must have felt crushing. Furthermore, Marcus pressed on, his voice gaining momentum, I personally own 40% of your company, Richard. Your little stunt tonight, attempting to rob your own daughter, allowing her to be physically assaulted, raises serious questions about your fitness as a leader. This is a family matter, my father stammered, grasping at straws. His empire, built on schmoozing clients and cutting corners, was suddenly under siege from within. You made it public, Marcus countered sharply. So now it's my business too. Adeline, are you still there? Here, I said, my voice clear and resolute, echoing into the void. Will you be pressing charges for the assault? The silence that followed was profound, a collective holding of breath. I let it stretch, savoring the power shift. My cheeks still burned, but the pain was fading into something empowering, a badge of survival. Listen closely, Marcus continued, breaking the tension. That stream provides incontrovertible evidence of assault and attempted extortion. Triggers Clause 15.3 in our shareholder agreement, moral turpitude and unfit leadership. Page 47 if you need a refresher. You signed it 5 years ago when I invested to bail you out of that cash crunch. What's that mean? My father's voice broke, a mix of confusion and dread. Papers rustled audibly through the phone, Marcus laying out the documents on the table, no doubt with the precision of a surgeon. It means I can call an emergency board meeting in 24 hours. I control 40% and the Jensen Trust holds 15%. I've already looped them in. They're intrigued by tonight's events. Do the math, Richard. The majority rules. This is extortion, my mother screamed, her voice hitting a fever pitch that made the speaker crackle. No, Mrs. Hayes, Marcus replied with icy calm. Extortion was you publicly demanding my company's penthouse in front of 200 witnesses, as if it were your due. This is simply the consequences of your actions catching up. Adeline, my father pleaded, his tone shifting to desperation. Stop him. This is going too far. We're family. Too far. I shot back, my words laced with years of pent-up frustration. Like slapping me across the face at my sister's wedding wasn't too far? Like years of treating me as the family ATM, the one who should sacrifice everything for Sophia, wasn't crossing a line. You can't ruin our family business over this, he implored, his voice cracking. I'm not ruining anything, I said steadily, gazing out at the city lights that now seemed to mirror my resolve. I'm protecting my home, my dignity, my life. Marcus is protecting his investment. Your choices put that at risk. That's on you, Dad. A murmur rose in the background, someone muttering, "It's going viral already." Twitter, Facebook, even local news picking it up. The digital wildfire was spreading, fueled by outrage and schadenfreude. "Here's the deal," Marcus declared, his voice commanding attention like a boardroom gavel. "Richard, you have 48 hours to issue a genuine apology to Adeline. No scripted PR nonsense. Acknowledge her accomplishments, her right to her property, and make it public. Carol, the same goes for you, and you'll stay out of her life permanently." "Or what?" my mother snapped, defiance mingling with fear. "Or I exercise my shareholder rights," Marcus said smoothly. "Your company relies on my capital infusions for growth. Without them, bankruptcy is a real possibility within 6 months. I've seen the books, you know it's true. This is Sophia's wedding." My mother's voice escalated to panic, as if invoking the event could shield her from reality. "You can't do this here." "Exactly why I'm giving you 48 hours, Marcus replied, his tone unflinching. "Adeline's penthouse remains hers, no schemes, no emotional blackmail. If you try anything, legal repercussions will be swift and severe." "She's our daughter," my father argued weakly, clinging to the last shreds of authority. "Then start acting like it," Marcus fired back. "Not like she's a resource to exploit for your favored child." Sophia's wail cut through the line, theatrical and piercing. "This was supposed to be my perfect day." "It still can be," Marcus said dismissively. "I'm leaving now, Richard. These documents stay with you. Read them carefully. Understand that Adeline has the full backing of Hayes Capital." "Adeline," Sophia sobbed, her voice dripping with accusation. "How could you ruin everything like this?" "I didn't ruin a thing, Sophia," I replied, my tone firm but weary. "I just refused to hand over my home on a silver platter. The announcement, the pressure, the slap, that's all on Mom and Dad." "But the penthouse should be mine," she whined, her entitlement laid bare. "It's perfect for Brian and me to start our life together." "No, it's mine," I countered. "Earned through years of late nights, high-stakes deals, and sacrifices you can't even imagine. If you want one, build your own success story." "You're so heartless," she accused, her sobs turning to sniffles. "No, I'm just done being the family's doormat," I said, feeling a weight lift with each word. Chairs scraped against the floor, murmurs swelling as the confrontation wound down. Marcus's voice grew closer to the phone, signaling he was stepping away from the group. "Adeline, the papers have been served. They know their options now. The ball's in their court." "Thanks, Marcus," I said sincerely. "I'm sorry it escalated to this point." "Me too," he replied. "By the way, the photographer I sent captured high-res shots of the entire incident, excellent for legal backup if things go south." A groan escaped my father through the line, a sound of defeat. "48 hours, Richard," Marcus reiterated firmly. "A proper apology or the board convenes. Adeline, I'll see you bright and early Monday." Call ended with a click, leaving me in the quiet embrace of my penthouse. The city lights shimmered below, a mosaic of possibility. My cheeks stung, but the deeper ache, the one from 32 years of being the overlooked, undervalued daughter, began to ease. It was as if I'd been carrying an invisible burden, one I'd grown so accustomed to that I hadn't noticed its weight until it started to slip away. 2 hours later, my phone erupted in a symphony of notifications. The video had exploded, trending across 3 major platforms with the headline entitled "Parents Demand Daughter's $2 million Penthouse at Wedding Gets Epic Takedown." Comments poured in by the thousands. "Girl boss energy." "Toxic family alert. Good for her." "That slap?" "Assault straight up." The views climbed rapidly, turning my personal nightmare into public entertainment. Sophia called 15 times in rapid succession. I let each one ring to voicemail, her messages an escalating tirade of blame and pleas. I didn't listen, I didn't need to. Peace in my space was too precious to shatter. Then came the texts. From Mom, you've wrecked everything. Sophia's wedding is in ruins. Guests are leaving early. Are you happy now? Her words dripped with venom, but they bounced off me like rain on glass. Dad's was different, more subdued. Please, Adeline. We need to talk. This can't end like this. But the real shock came from my father's business contacts. 3 of his biggest clients had seen the video. Word traveled fast in our interconnected world. Jim Patterson from Patterson Industries. Richard, this is deeply troubling. We need to discuss our ongoing contract. David Kim of Kim Electronics. My wife and I are reconsidering our partnership after seeing that footage. And the killer blow from Sarah Williams of Williams Logistics. I don't do business with people who hit their children. Consider our $3 million deal terminated effective immediately. That loss alone was a gut punch to Hayes and Associates, a contract that had been the cornerstone of their logistics division. I could picture my father's face paling as he read those messages, his empire cracking under the strain. Even Brian's family chat, where I'd been reluctantly added months ago, descended into chaos. His mother, we're pulling out of this mess. This behavior is shameful and unacceptable. His father, the wedding is on hold until we understand what kind of family we're tying ourselves to. The once joyful group dissolved into arguments and ultimatums, the wedding crumbling before it could even conclude. And I wasn't even there to witness it. From my vantage point high above, it felt almost surreal, like watching a drama unfold on a screen rather than in my own life. Marcus texted soon after, "Your dad's in full panic mode. 3 more clients have raised red flags. Hang in there." Then, unexpected gem. "Oh, and your mom fainted dramatically when she realized I'm the CEO of Hayes Capital." Paramedics were called, quite the scene. I couldn't help but chuckle as I poured a glass of wine from my special occasion bottle, a rare vintage I'd been saving for a milestone. If finally standing up for myself didn't qualify as special, what did? The rich, velvety liquid swirled in the glass, catching the city lights. I raised it in a silent toast, to boundaries, to resilience, to the life I'd built despite everything. My assistant, Lena, texted next. "Boss, you're going viral in the best way. 5 headhunters have called already. Standing up to toxic family dynamics is apparently the new hot commodity in executive circles." I laughed outright, the sound echoing in the empty penthouse. It was my first genuine laugh in days, a release of tension that left me lighter. By Monday morning, the business world had firmly picked sides, and overwhelmingly, it was mine. The video had made it to every major city network, with headlines blaring, "Top exec defies bullying parents in viral wedding meltdown. CEO delivers masterclass in backup." Analysts dissected the shareholder implications, while social media influencers turned it into memes and think pieces on family toxicity. Dad's firm hemorrhaged 6 contracts over the weekend, deals worth millions evaporating like mist. His ambitious 2-year expansion plan? Dead in the water. Without Marcus's ongoing investments and with clients fleeing in droves, downsizing was inevitable. Layoffs, office closures, the works. Sophia's dream Bali honeymoon? Cancelled outright by Brian's family, who cited the need to reassess alliances with such instability. Wedding gifts were returned en masse, the fairy tale ending unraveling thread by thread. But the biggest surprise came from my own company. Marcus summoned me to his corner office first thing Monday, the space a sleek blend of modern art and panoramic views. "The board's impressed, Adeline," he said, gesturing for me to sit. "They want you promoted to Senior VP of Global Operations. Your track record in Asia Pacific is stellar, and handling this incident? It showed real mettle." "A slap impressed them?" I asked, half joking, as I settled into the leather chair. He leaned forward, his expression serious. "You didn't fold under immense pressure. You protected your assets, stayed composed, and leveraged resources effectively by calling me in. I've seen seasoned execs crumble when family gets involved. You didn't just stand your ground, you turned the tide. That's leadership we need at the top. Promotion came with a 40% raise, substantial stock options, enough to buy another penthouse if I wanted. But I didn't. Mine was more than bricks and mortar. It was a symbol of my independence, earned through countless red-eye flights, high-pressure pitches, and solitary victories in boardrooms across continents. I donated the signing bonus to a local women's shelter specializing in survivors of domestic abuse. Felt fitting, a full-circle moment, turning my pain into support for others walking similar paths. Dad's apology arrived at the 47-hour mark, terse but adequate. I deeply regret my actions toward Adeline at the recent family event. I acknowledge and respect her professional achievements and her absolute right to her property. This matter is now closed. It was posted publicly on his company's social channels, no doubt drafted by a crisis PR firm. Mom, true to form, offered no such olive branch. Instead, she took to her personal Facebook, ranting in a series of posts. My selfish, ungrateful daughter chose corporate greed over family loyalty. She's been corrupted by money and power. Screenshots spread like wildfire, with commenters piling on. The problem is staring back at you in the mirror. Classic narcissist behavior. That video doesn't lie. Assault is assault. A week later, Sophia texted in a fury, "You've destroyed my life." Brian's family is insisting on premarital counseling before we proceed. They say my family is toxic and unstable. I typed back without hesitation, "They're not wrong. Maybe use it to reflect." "I hate you," she replied, the words blunt and final. "I know," I responded, then blocked her number. The fallout rippled through our extended family like aftershocks. Some aunts and uncles sided with my parents, preaching the gospel of family first no matter what in group chats and holiday cards. Others reached out privately, sharing their own stories of being the family scapegoat, the one expected to give endlessly without reciprocity. Cousin Derek, who'd once mocked my corporate drone life at a reunion, messaged, "I'm sorry for what I said back then. I didn't realize how unevenly they treated you. Good on you for standing up." Aunt Patricia, Mom's own sister, called, "Your mother's my blood, but she was dead wrong here. I'm proud of you for holding your head high. You've inspired me to set some boundaries of my own." Even Brian surprised me with a message. "Adeline, I had no idea about the penthouse scheme. If I'd known, I'd have shut it down. Sophia needs a serious wake-up call. And that slap from your mom? That's assault, plain and simple. Sorry you went through that." At least one member of their clan possessed a moral compass. The next day, I had the penthouse locks changed, a precautionary measure, though I doubted my family would stoop to breaking in. Security downstairs received an updated no-entry list, with my parents' names prominently featured. James, the doorman who'd been a friendly face for 3 years, pulled me aside in the lobby. "Miss Hayes, I saw the video circulating. Good for you, standing your ground like that. My daughter dealt with something similar from her in-laws. Family isn't always about blood, it's about who treats you right." His words resonated deeply. I knew that truth now viscerally. I blocked my immediate family across all social media. No dramatic announcements, just a quiet severance from their digital presence. It was liberating, like closing a chapter that had dragged on far too long. Work became my sanctuary, a realm where merit mattered and loyalty was earned, not demanded. My new role as Senior VP meant overseeing teams in 12 countries, from bustling hubs in Shanghai to innovative outposts in Sydney. I dove in headfirst, relishing the challenges, negotiating cross-border mergers, optimizing supply chains amid global uncertainties, mentoring young talent who reminded me of my younger self. Marcus evolved from boss to mentor, sharing wisdom over casual coffees in the company cafe. "The best revenge isn't payback," he said one afternoon, stirring his espresso. "It's living a life so full and successful that their pettiness becomes irrelevant." 3 months later, an unknown number texted a photo, the wedding gift I'd sent Sophia, a certificate for 6 months of family therapy sessions with a renowned counselor. "This is insulting," the accompanying message read, and signed but unmistakably from my mother. It's what's needed, I replied succinctly, then blocked the number without a second thought. Life transformed in those ensuing months. I thrived in ways I hadn't imagined, my senior VP position catapulting me onto Forbes' 40 Under 40 list. The article praised my pioneering strategies in Asian markets, tactfully glossing over the wedding scandal that had thrust me into the spotlight. Interviews followed, focusing on leadership and resilience with subtle nods to work-life boundaries. Dad's company staggered on, a shadow of its former self. He aged rapidly, the stress etching deep lines into his face, according to mutual acquaintances. Rumor had it he'd started therapy, late but a step toward accountability. The mom persisted in her victim narrative, complaining to anyone who'd listen about her heartless daughter who chose money over family. But the video endured online, a permanent counterpoint that exposed her hypocrisy. Public opinion had shifted, sympathy for her waned. Sophia's marriage to Brian lasted a mere 4 months. The mandated counseling unearthed layers of entitlement and avoidance, her refusal to take responsibility clashing with Brian's growing disillusionment. His family had been wise to insist. The divorce was amicable but final, a quiet dissolution announced via a joint statement. She texted, "One last time, happy now? You got your way in the end." "I got what I earned," I responded. There's a big difference. Hayes Capital became my chosen family, a network of driven professionals who celebrated wins collectively and supported each other through setbacks. We shared triumphs over team dinners, brainstormed solutions late into the night, and never once asked me to dim my light for their convenience. Marcus and his wife invited me to their family gatherings, where his 2 college-aged daughters looked up to me with wide-eyed admiration. "You prove we don't have to shrink ourselves for anyone," the eldest, Mia, told me over dessert one evening. "Especially not family." That affirmation meant more than any reluctant nod from my birth relatives. Reflecting on that wedding disaster, I realized it had been a crucible, forging me stronger. Blood ties don't define family, mutual respect does. Success isn't a communal pot to be divvied up. It's personal, hard-won, and sacred. Sometimes the loudest statement is silence, cutting off toxicity to make room for growth. My penthouse remains my sanctuary, its floor-to-ceiling windows framing sunrises that greet me each morning with promise. Coffee in hand, I stand there, grateful for the peace I fought to protect. It's not merely a home, it's a monument to choosing myself when others demanded I choose them. If your family demands more than they give, claims ownership over your achievements, or expects you to self-immolate for their comfort, remember this: your boundaries are non-negotiable. Your success belongs to you. Your peace outweighs their fleeting approval. You don't owe your hard-earned victories to shared DNA. Disrespect, whether a public slap or years of subtle erosion, doesn't deserve a free pass under the banner of family harmony. Abuse in any form forfeits the right to your presence. The freedom I gained cost me my birth family, but it gifted me self-respect, authentic connections, and a life sculpted on my terms. Your story may differ, but the core truth endures. You deserve to be celebrated, not merely tolerated. Surround yourself with those who choose you unconditionally, not transactionally. What boundaries will you enforce today? Thanks for journeying through my story. If you've ever faced the fork between familial approval and self-worth, know you're in good company. Comment boundaries matter if you're standing against toxic family dynamics. Share this with someone who needs the reminder. It's okay, essential even, to choose yourself. Subscribe and hit the bell for more insights on forging strong boundaries and cultivating chosen families. Are you Team Adeline for holding ground or family first no matter the cost? Share your thoughts below. Your peace is worth everything.